welcome to all of my friends joining us. We have Marco and we have Hi Sid. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Anybody else that's joining us here live over on Twitch, just go ahead and pop in on chat and say hi. I'm your host, AJ. I am sitting in a different location here. This is something that is a little bit not weird, but getting used to right now. I'm so used to being able to notice certain things in front of me. But I'm sitting in this spot because, as you guys can see, our good pal Zach is not here. Zach is busy. Zach's got stuff going on, and we wish Zach all the best in his work endeavors and everything he's got going on. And we hope that he comes back soon, which he will. Just this weekend didn't work out. And so we decided to go ahead and use the manga wall as Zach's camera.
There we go.
There you go. So we had to go ahead and kind of move stuff around, which is why I'm sitting here, because the cameras would be all too close together. A lot of cords and all that.
But to be on the show. Hi, so funny enough about that, Marco was talked about being on this episode.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the storm and traveling and timing, you know, the storm,
again,
you know.
It's weather stuff, you know?
The storm.
It's weather stuff, guys.
Stuff out of our control, unfortunately.
But like Lexi said, hopefully you guys are all doing well. For anybody here over in Southern Cal, hopefully you guys are being safe out there over in the storm, or staying out of it. And anybody else that's dealing with any kind of weather wherever you guys live, hopefully you guys are doing well. As Heisa says that he lives in Indiana, hopefully Indiana is looking very, very beautiful and weather is really, really nice there. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure that it is cold. I know that it is much later because we are here at 4 now, approaching 4:30, which means it's going to be close to 7:30 there. I believe Indiana is 3 hours. Marco says one day I'll be back, and
yeah, of course, no doubt about that.
We'll have you back, and we'll see if your return will be here with Zach as well, because we understand we love the competitive relationship that you guys both have.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you guys
are
back together, and then we'll probably end up having another video game stream immediately after.
Yeah, I'm sure. But
yeah, plus 3 hours in East.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Marco says, I will win.
I will win. You hear that, Zach? When he comes back, we'll be sure to tell him that.
Yes.
Marco's got some fighting words.
All right, guys. So we're going to continue on because we're getting to, as Lexi mentioned, to some really interesting moments happening here in Attack on Titan, because moments as in like people who even don't think that anime is cool, or people who really don't watch it, or just flat out, you can use the term anime haters, right? Which I believe is something that Lexi had mentioned, where people are watching it and they're known as anime haters, and then next thing you know, they find themselves getting emotional. They find themselves feeling for these characters. You know, they're being really empathetic and
anime.
And that's kind of weird. You know, that's a weird thing for people who don't like anime to go ahead and do, which means maybe they do like anime. Maybe they will start watching it. Maybe we'll get a couple anime haters over here in Attack to Talk. You never know. But
also, happy belated birthday, Kenny.
Oh, wow. Happy belated birthday. That's awesome. Wow.
I think I know what challenger you're talking about, Marco. Good job.
But yes, guys. Yes. So we're in the territory where we're already very much aware that there's some crazy stuff happening over in the story of Attack on Titan. We've been focusing on season 3, episode 17. This will be part 2 of our episode breakdown discussion. This episode's name is Hero, and we're going to go ahead and understand why this is called Hero. And pretty much what we need to know is that characters who are in such high stakes and such crazy despair of, you know, just situations where things don't look the best, certain characters are gonna do whatever they can to move forward.
Yeah.
To push forward, to try to look out for others, to be heroes. And we're going to go ahead and get into that territory and all that. And it's going to be good conversations to have, because they're going to be heavy subjects. They're going to be emotional conversations, at least on my end.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get into it.
We know how the story ends.
Yes.
Spoiler warning, guys.
Yes.
But
We know how it ends.
Hello, I repent.
Yo,
welcome.
what's up, Josh? Hopefully you're doing well.
Welcome.
And welcome. Yeah, we're happy that you're here. We're happy that all of our friends are here. And yeah, again, guys, we're gonna go ahead and cover some good stuff.
Yep.
Some foreshadowing stuff. I like when episodes in Attack on Titan, they don't tell us the details, which happens a lot, but they go ahead and kind of jump around in time a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, or
leaves you spiraling.
Or it goes in, it like will purposely not explain the plan.
Purposely leave out details.
Which is something that obviously we've talked about with Commander Irvin doing. Commander Irvin goes and he like won't tell you the plan, which is what we're gonna get in this episode, where we're seeing things play out, and it's as if like the characters have already explained the plan, but we were left out of the loop, and we're like, what's going on here?
And we're like, why are you doing?
You know,
this?
what's going on? So that'll be cool. And
but it makes it immersive. Makes it feel like you're a part of it.
It does, yeah. I like that. I like that whole element of it. But I believe Lexi actually said, did you already say spoiler?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I did.
So spoiler warning, of course, to all our friends who by chance have not seen Attack on Titan in its entirety. It's an awesome just anime to watch and enjoy and experience it as it's happening to you at your time, whether you binge it or whether you decide to go ahead and watch it kind of in portions or weekly or whatever it is. You know, it's nice to go ahead and experience it and see things play out as they do. Mm-hmm. You know, so but if you want to go ahead and join us and experience it through us retelling it, then, you know, that's cool too. And we appreciate that. Hopefully we do a good job of, you know, retelling the story and analyzing everything and breaking everything down. And again, humbled that we are your source of AOT, right? Which is very, very cool. But also, hey, there's nothing like watching the anime. You know, and seeing these scenes play out for themselves. Because we talked about last week, we talked about a badass scene, which is Levi and Zeke, their first battle. And that battle was epic.
And really great animation too. Wit really put their all into that scene.
Absolutely.
Because to be able to make Levi look like he's moving at lightning speed, it takes so many like individual little frames to make it all look smooth. And because you could tell he's slicing that thing up.
Yeah.
But again, he's moving super fast, so very good job.
Very good job. Yes, they do a hell of a job for sure. All these different animes, like there's the animation studios. I mean, they're just all incredible, and we can only imagine how much work gets put into it. Because I mean, we've seen pictures of like, you know, what's the studio again? Of
Mappa.
Mappa, and then
like the Mappa head, and just like
the heavy eyes.
Looking so sleepy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, give this man a break.
So we want to go ahead and express our love and gratitude to all those that work and bring these awesome animes to life. And it's awesome. So actually, Jacob has a question for us. Says that I've had a question since the beginning. Are you guys narrating the manga or the anime script? So what we do is we go ahead and we watch the anime episodes. And when we're breaking them into different parts, right? Like, so right now we're focusing on part 2 of season 3, episode 17. So we're focusing on a chunk, and usually these chunks are anywhere from like 5 to 7 minutes only. Sometimes maybe a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. Also depending on what material or how much information is given to us. So there's times where there's not a whole lot happening in the story. Not to say that there isn't a lot happening, but we're able to go ahead and break down those episodes in a mannerly time. We have had episodes in the past where we tried to go and split them in halves, and here we are having 3-hour-long podcast episodes, which isn't bad, you know, but
it just means there's a lot to talk about. And we're also talking with you guys and hanging out.
Yes. And we want to make sure we have that element, because I feel like in the past when we were just focusing on the story, we strayed away from the element of talking to you guys. And I don't like that. I want to be able to go and talk to you guys, spiral with you guys, have these theories with you guys and all that, and just speculate on different stuff with AOT and just go through these crazy little rabbit holes that we go through, whether it's talking about random shit, whether it's talking about SpongeBob references, who knows what it is. I love all that stuff. So we're just kind of splitting these episodes into like maybe more or less just 3 parts, like I said, depending on how much there is to talk about, but it is all just anime focused. So we're not talking about manga, although there has been times in the past where Zach has brought up manga stills and all that, like we did last week, even with just
like how much more like detailed and gory. Obviously things are censored for television, but encompassing all of the details. So awesome. Thank you so much for that question, Jacob. And if you have any other questions, by all means, go ahead and ask, and we'll go ahead and we'll try to answer those to the best that we can.
Yeah. So again, guys, we're getting into some good stuff. I'm excited to continue. We have 2 Q&As to go ahead and talk about in this episode. Yeah. We had 2 really good ones, and we were excited to go ahead and ask. So instead of doing a poll question and a Q&A, we felt that it was appropriate to do the 2 Q&As because they both really kind of correlate with what's happening here.
We would love to hear your guys' insight.
Yeah. And again, if you guys by chance here joining us live that not answer, go ahead and give us your answer here over in chat. We would love to go ahead and do that and hear from you guys. Or even if we've done in the past already in these past couple episodes that we've streamed and you guys join us live, is you guys will elaborate. You guys will go ahead and kind of get into more details as to why you guys thought that. And we love that. We love to go ahead and get a better understanding as to why you guys thought that, or why you guys believe this, or why you guys, just kind of theorize with this and all this good stuff. And it's all good conversation to have. And I love that, like I said, this podcast here, we're all just friends talking about Attack on Titan. So let's go ahead and let's kind of talk about it in whatever kind of, wide range of things. And we don't have to just focus solely over on the anime episodes. Like I said, we'll go ahead and we can talk about all this different stuff and whatnot. And it's all fun chatter to go ahead and to get into.
Yeah.
I myself haven't even really thought about. I did see the Q&A. I saw one of the Q&As, and I myself, I haven't even really thought about it. Mm-hmm. And
hello, Eddie.
Eddie, what's up, man?
We're just about to get into the Q&A, man.
I know that Eddie is also a SoCal guy, so hopefully you're doing well, my friend, over in the storm that we're having, and hopefully you're all safe. And you're joining us in chat. It looks like you are safe, my friend, and hopefully you're all cozy, all buckled in, ready to go ahead and join this awesome, crazy little adventure that we're about to go ahead and embark on. But yeah, guys, all that good stuff. I want to start off this podcast by asking my sister, Lexi, how are you?
Good.
You're good? Anything new?
This past weekend, I've been, for those of you who don't know, I help manage a men's volleyball team for the university that I'm now an alumni of.
Yeah. Congrats again.
So we went 2-0 this weekend. So if my voice seems a little bit deeper, seems a little scratchier, it's because I have been screaming my head off because we have a big, loud, energetic bench that I absolutely love. Oh my gosh, yesterday, after the game, I had spectators asking me where'd you guys come up with that one? Or where'd you guys come up with that move? And it's like, they made it up that day. We have probably 12 people on the bench. That's probably a low number too. Not counting coaches, just 12 players on the bench while our starting team is on. And they all lined up sitting on the floor, sitting basically in each other's laps, just row, 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 row. And then one of them was they were pretending to be bowling pins, and one of them was a bowling ball and knocked him over. And yeah, it was so much fun. But yeah, I basically have been doing that.
Does this also relate to what Marco was saying, that they are mentally linked?
They are all mentally linked. I mean, yeah.
I don't know if that's in reference to what you're explaining, but was Marco there? Did you see Marco? Oh,
he was not there.
Oh, so I thought maybe you saw Marco.
I mean, he wasn't at the game. He was at.
But I'm sure he is aware.
Yeah,
Marco
he was
says,
at Luca's game.
Bat, what's
hello,
up?
Bat. I'll get to your question in a second. Yeah, speaking of Luca, this past Thursday was actually our 2-year anniversary. So we celebrated that. We went to a steakhouse, celebrated that.
Which steakhouse?
We just ended up going to Lucille's.
Oh, okay.
And then
you wanted that good old comfort food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we ended up accidentally gifting each other the same gift.
Okay.
Which is
speaking of gift, I actually have something to mention as well.
Okay, cool.
So go ahead.
But we I don't know if you guys have seen, but it's those clear glass things where it has a portrait, where it's like when you are playing a song on Spotify, it shows the album and then the song title, the artist, what's playing, the playing bar, and then play, skip, shuffle, whatever. Mm-hmm. But instead of it being the album cover, it's a photo of me and him. Mm-hmm. And so he custom ordered his to have our photo and the song of his choosing, and his lights up, which I love. I love lights. I hate having the big light on in my room. I need a bunch of little lights. So, and for his, I did it by hand. I painted it and I pressed some flowers that I picked from our front yard and used it as a background.
So is this all Valentine's related?
No, it was for our anniversary.
Oh, anniversary. Okay.
Yeah, on Thursday.
Very cool.
So, we ended up choosing the same song and gifting each other the same thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I also gave him a sweatshirt.
So maybe that's what Mentally Linked was about.
Yeah. No, that's what that was.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mentally Linked. If it wasn't, we tie it
Then we
somehow.
tied it
We
back
tie it
together.
back together. Yeah.
But yeah, how have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, I've been doing really good. So you talked about gift.
Gift, yeah.
And I mentioned Valentine's Day, so that's why I was like, is this Valentine's Day related? So now obviously now you both have to think about Valentine's stuff.
Yeah, I told him that I would paint him another thing, but that this one can be custom ordered this time.
Okay,
Because
very
now he knows what I can do, and I enjoyed pressing flowers. It was actually a lot of fun. It was really cute. I had a lot of fun doing it, so I want to do it again. So I told him, hey, whatever you want for Valentine's Day, I will custom make you an art, like some art something. So
Very cool.
go ahead and put in your order, and you'll get it on Valentine's Day.
Request, yeah. Very cool. Very quickly, Eddie says that I'm skating home before the storm catches me. Hopefully, you get home safe, my friend.
Yeah.
We'll get to Bat's question, of course. Eddie did mention, yeah, Lex, I did see that you've been posting volleyball stuff, which is super cool.
Yeah,
That
I
is very,
manage
very
their
cool.
whole social media account. So if you guys happen to see stuff like that, go ahead and support. I do all of their social media stuff, all the filming, all the editing, all the posters, everything. I do it all.
Yeah, very, very cool. But yeah, so I've been doing really, really good. I actually got surprised by something. As a matter of
A
fact,
good surprise.
very good surprise. My girlfriend asked me to be her Valentine's. And
How adorable.
she got me this.
Oh my
So
god.
maybe if you want to go ahead and put that over, see if it
Yeah,
focuses over on the
yeah.
camera next to you. So shout out to my girlfriend. She's amazing. I love her so much. But yeah, so she gets me a little. If anybody that watches One
This
Piece,
looks so professional right now.
that is
like we're doing, like a toy
yeah,
review.
that is Brooke, Straw Hat Brooke, and she knows me so well because actually Brooke is a character that Zach has kind of thought that I would be a good live action interpretation. So without her even knowing, she's like, "Here, this is a character you like from One Piece, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, I
Whoa,
do.
what
How'd you
the
know
heck?
that? That's crazy.
Yeah, so shout out again to my girlfriend. Here's a virtual high five for you. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
also trying to go ahead and clear. There we go. But yeah,
that is
thank you so much.
Really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome surprise. And,
That's
and,
sweet.
And
Isaac goes, Eddie, will you be my brother for Valentine's Day?
I love it. I love it.
Eddie says, say less.
I love it, guys.
How cute.
Yeah, I've been doing really, really well. So thank you, and I hope that you guys all here joining us here live over in chat are doing well as well. Yeah, all good
Yeah.
stuff, guys. Hopefully you guys are having some cool
Hopefully
little
you guys
Valentine's.
are doing good as well. And Valentine's is going to be here before we know it.
Yeah. So Valentine's plans with the fam, or Valentine's plans with your significant others, or
With your
Valentine's
friends
Day
or
with your
whatever.
friends, regardless of what it is, guys. Valentine's Day is a cool little reason to go ahead and just enjoy time with. Zebra Cake 55, what is up?
Hello, Zebra.
Hello, Zebra Cake. Zebra Cake. Yeah, high five to you.
Getting to Bat's question.
Yes, let's get to Bat's
What's been your
question.
favorite episode segment so far to narrate? Oh, gosh.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many.
Well, my favorite character to narrate is probably Hanji because she's the easiest for me.
Yeah.
Because she's basically my voice.
Yeah.
I mean, not right now. My voice is a little deeper than usual. But I'm going to give my boys a kiss for Valentine's Day. Very good. Very good. Yeah, mine would probably have to be something Hanji related.
Okay, but
I kind of like when she was explaining the Thunder Spears to Aaron.
Okay, I was gonna say, is there a specific scene in mind that you enjoyed narrating?
The first
and
one that
talking
comes to
about?
mind, probably because it was kind of recent, is Hanji explaining the Thunder Spears. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's so matter of fact. And then Aaron goes, "What is a rod gonna do?" And Hanji goes, "It's pointed at the end, so that makes it a spear, dumbass," or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
She says something like that, and I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
She's just a silly little guy.
Man, it's tricky for me to go ahead and think about because I can't think of one specific
Because
moment.
you voice a lot of characters.
Yeah,
so it's a
but
lot harder.
I'm trying to even think about just in terms of a scene to go ahead and talk about. And one of my favorites that we actually did was one where we actually each took turns delivering the iconic line.
Oh, yes, that was
And
a lot of fun.
I'm thinking of when, of course, the traders, when we
Yeah.
get the reveal of the traders, right? And they're over there on top of the wall. And that was a fun whole scene to go ahead and play out and go ahead and voice
Mm-hmm.
and really just try to go ahead and give our all into and stuff. And Yeah, that one was really, really fun. And as a matter of fact, I believe Zach actually wasn't there, but we had Zach when he came back, when he went and we had him deliver.
You're like, you have to do
damn
it.
you traitor
You're not getting
line.
out of this.
And I remember thinking back, I'm like, damn, Lexi did such a great job. I think she did a better job than I did over delivering that line, which is really, really cool.
Well, I mean, I just scream.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that one was a lot of fun. And that's one that, of course, when I think about just the podcast and think about memories and stuff like that, and think about certain moments, that's one that I really hold near and dear to my heart, because that one was a moment that we were really building up to and we were really excited about, and we knew that it was going to be coming and all that. And very, really cool.
Ooh, I'm excited for when we eventually get to that scene, Heise.
Yeah, that one's going to be really, really cool to go ahead
Throws
and
back
talk
his
about.
leg in front of him.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, crap.
Yeah, that one's going to be a really cool
What did
one.
you do, Falco?
Yeah, man, you know what? There's so many amazing scenes over in AOT, and we get so excited whenever we decide to go ahead and cover really important scenes to the story, or even just iconic moments and moments where people go ahead and they feel like are their favorite scenes, which is why for us, I mean, we try to do our best to go ahead and bring those scenes to life. And for iconic scenes like that, we of course want to do the best that we can and really show true appreciation to those moments that are a lot of people's favorites, which is even with last week, like doing the whole Beast Titan and Levi thing, that was really fun to cover. And even, of course, I mean, again, shout out to Zach for delivering such an iconic, My Soldier's Rage line. The urban speech.
He did a really good job with it.
He did it.
I mean, he listens to it all the time at the gym.
Yeah.
He didn't even need the lines in front of him.
I know.
He's got it memorized.
I know, which is so cool. But again, shout out to Zach again for delivering that. And again, that's another moment that I'm going to hold near and dear to my heart when I think about the podcast and moments and stuff, because I mean, it's really cool for us to just really try to, again, embrace these characters almost in us and trying to become them, because now kind of getting into kind of a different territory here, but voice acting it could be challenging. It could be really difficult. We understand that voice acting, like anybody that is a voice actor for, what they do that for work, they are so damn talented. And for us,
it takes a lot of commitment too.
It's something that we loved doing. It's a dream job, and trying to aspire to become that. But there's an element
we are
where
definitely amateurs. Passionate amateurs.
But there's an element still where you have to just, like Lexi used the word, commit. And you have to commit to it, and I think about where we were when we first started the podcast, and having the cameras around was so weird.
Very nervy.
Having to voice the characters was
knowing like we
difficult.
Just are going to talk and it's not going to get edited. That's it. One take and that's it.
And that's another thing too that makes me really, really proud and feel very, I just feel very like there's a sense of fulfillment is seeing how far we've come to get to this point
seeing
now
the episodes like building up.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And continuing to have you guys in chat is, I mean, gosh, we could talk about how much we love you guys for the entire podcast. We could talk about it for episodes to come. We do talk about it every episode.
I do it every single podcast episode where I talk about how much you guys mean to us.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
To keep it brief, you guys are the reason for the podcast.
Yeah,
you guys are
best.
the podcast.
If it wasn't for
you guys are everything.
If it wasn't for you guys joining us and chatting with us live, again, this is just matter of fact, the truth. We wouldn't be doing this. It's difficult to go ahead and stay motivated, but you guys motivate us. And again, we're so thankful for you guys and your support, and you guys just taking the time to just join us and talk about such an awesome anime. And again, guys, we love you so much. You guys are so special to us, and you guys are our Levi squad. And you guys are just awesome. I even just hear saying experienced amateurs.
I know. Thank you, Bap.
Yep.
And unfortunately, no, Heise, I have not seen that video, but now I'm going to go searching for it because that's got to be something that's so emotional. I'm trying to get this to focus again.
There you go. And usually it's just you go ahead and kind of zoom out and back in and stuff,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
now I'm
I have
gonna
seen
go
that video
look for
too. Very cool.
Shall we move on to the Q&As?
I think so. Yeah. So as mentioned, we have 2 Q&As to go and talk about, and then we'll go ahead and
we're going to be
into...
talking about these for a good minute.
Yeah, that's right. Again, guys,
good.
do not be afraid to go ahead and explain your reasoning if you have not already over in the Q&As.
Yeah.
And if you haven't answered, please go ahead and tell us what you guys would go ahead and choose, or ultimately, you know, whatever your response would be when answering these Q&As. And so now, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and take it away, Lex, to let you do your thing.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off with the Q&A posted on Friday. Posted on time this time. We asked you guys, actually was asked, this question was brought up by Zach last episode. And the question is, if Irvin had reached the cellar, saying that if Irvin hadn't died in that suicide charge and had reached the basement or the cellar, would his resolve have changed? And if so, then how? We asked you guys like a very in-depth Q&A.
And I believe actually too, we might have had some responses live when we kind of initially talked about it, right?
Because we did talk about our answers, thinking
I think
if it would.
Josh went ahead and he kind of had some good points in talking about Irvin's resolve. I'm certain others too, and I'm certain we're gonna get to you guys' responses. So I'm excited to go ahead and see what you guys said.
So we have two responses. Okay. One of them is from I Am Storm, joining us here, also known as Heise, also known as Jacob.
Yeah. So
joining us here in chat. Hello, Jacob. He says his new resolve would be to help with the rumbling.
Oh my God,
it's in all
Jacob.
caps too and everything. I just had to read it like the intro.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what he was going for.
There's no way. You know the truth. You know that Irvin would not go ahead and be on board. You know
Irvin would have a full identity crisis. I mean, that's what I think. I think Irvin would have a full-on identity crisis.
I want to ask you, Lex, do we think that Irvin is going to be where the Levi squad members are? Or do you think he's going to be over there with Levi and trying to go ahead and babysit Zeke? Because we understand, remember, they go ahead and obviously go to Marley. We understand that they're all going to be there. Now, is Irving going to stand side by side with Levi? Because we know that in the story, they get separated, right? Talking about Levi and the others. Talking about even Hanji, she goes and she's like, there with where Levi is kind of more or less until, you know, something happens. Well, I can't remember exactly, but we'll get to that, of course. And we're aware that like Mikasa and the others are focusing on other things over inside the walls, over in like Cena, I believe. Now I'm kind of curious. Do we think Irvin would go ahead and kind of be there alongside Levi?
I think.
Does he drink the wine?
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of other possibilities that could have happened, because then would Armin have gotten that leadership role? Would Irvin have slapped some sense into Eren? Anything is possible. Yeah, I'm just reading your guys' chats now.
Yeah. Is Armin even in the picture? That's the thing.
Yeah, because then what ends up happening? How do they deal with the beast? I mean, if he wouldn't have died, let's say he just happened to be in that special spot where Flock was. Yeah. Where he didn't get hit by a boulder. But then you just have this one-armed commander going around. And I mean, you could just only hope to give him some kind of Titan ability.
That's the thing. So when thinking about this in theory, either he does survive like Flock, which means, like you mentioned, he remains handicapped. Yeah. As potentially the commander still, which means what does that mean for Hanji? What does that mean for Armin? And again, talking about Armin, does that mean that Armin is still going to go ahead and get brought back? Does that mean that he still becomes Titan? Or does that mean now that by Irvin surviving, Irvin takes the place of the Colossal?
Marco says Colossal.
Marco says Colossal, yeah. He also Marco says Irvin would slap some sense into Eren.
So also, I feel like, so obviously Hanji gets put into commanding position, and then Armin is, I think he's just a squad leader for during that time. Yeah. And then when he gets put into a position of commander, that's really what pushes Armin to really like mature in his development. And would that not happen then?
Yeah, it's crazy to think about how certain character developments would have changed. Yeah. You know?
Me personally, I'm going to answer this question.
Okay.
Me personally, I think that Irvin would go through a little midlife crisis if he reached the cellar and see that the truth that he was really searching for to avenge his father's death and atone for being the reason for his father's death. I think that he would actually go through a little crisis and just like spiral a little bit. And in the moment, I think. I don't think it would last, but I think in the moment he'd be like, this is what I've been searching for this whole time. A photo of your father with a different family.
Yeah.
That's it. And
I guess
realizing that there's a whole nother...
Exactly. The confirmation that there's a whole other world out there.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world.
You know.
And then what becomes his soul search for the truth? Because his soul search, thinking of what the truth is what's in the cellar.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's been in there and we're still not getting the truth. Would his next soul resolve be reaching Marley? And then you get the rumbling that gets all involved and all that. And I feel like there comes a point where he's like, I'll just stay back on parody. I've only got one arm. You guys do your thing. I'm going to give my commanding role.
Jacob, there's no way at all.
Yeah, I'm going to give my commanding role to Hanji. You guys go do your thing. I'll be back here. If you happen to have a Titan ability to give me, I'll take it. I think that he would probably freeing the Eldians. Yeah. Maybe.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, I do like what you're saying. I like where you're going with that, Lex, because I could definitely, as you're talking about it and explaining, I can envision.
Yeah, I was totally
Irvin
visualizing it.
Going through a bit of a depression, you know, and him maybe even now kind of losing some sort of confidence in his leadership.
I could totally see him reflecting and being like, I have been leading you guys. Like, I've been going after my own resolve. Even what he says to Levi right before he charges to his death.
Yeah.
I think that he would end up giving up the commanding role, giving it to Hanji.
And what happens if history repeats itself and all of a sudden he decides now to pull like a Commander Keith Sodus?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now he realizes that maybe he's not cut out for certain things. Maybe now his, aspirations were selfish. Maybe just like he realizes that certain things just like, not doesn't say they aren't worth it or whatever, but maybe he was misguided and whatever the case is. And maybe he decides to pass on the mantle and focus on doing something else. But what if that something else involves him not being a part of the scouts going to Marley?
Yeah, being a part of like the main
What if he
plot,
stays
for
back
lack of a better word.
over in parody? What happens if, we have these huge aspirations for Irvin, thinking that Irvin would do these great things over if in the story if he continued. But what happens if, like Lexi mentioned, that he kind of has this midlife crisis, he goes through this depression where all of a sudden he doesn't have that will to keep fighting anymore? Because it's to our understanding that he decided to stop fighting. He was content with his life, and he ultimately pushed Levi to a decision and helping make that decision on what he believes was right.
I don't know what to do. You need to make, these are my options, and I need you to make the decision for me.
Yeah.
Okay, charge to your death. But also, just to play devil's advocate, we can't forget that Irvin is a gambler, and he cannot help but think and gamble on plans.
You never know.
On humanity's plans. So I think he would still want to be involved, but maybe from a background, because I think that his confidence might shift a little bit, or he might reflect, or maybe it'll just push him further into character development and make him this absolutely amazing, totally rational commander that realizes, oh, my resolve doesn't mean anything.
What if he becomes the new premier?
Oh, yeah, that would be cool, too.
We know what happens to the premier later on.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately his own guilty pleasure that is the reason why he died. But what happens if, he decides to take up this new level of leadership in this chain of command? We don't know. Yeah. But also, too, who's to say if Irvin he's still how he is, he's not this Titan user, is Levi going to let him join in any other expeditions, any other scout missions?
Because
Levi
he already
say,
was like, I don't even want you to go to the east.
You barely escaped with your life. Yeah. I'm not letting you leave the walls again.
That's a whole nother aspect that I didn't even think of.
We don't know.
Would Levi even allow him to fight?
Yeah.
That actually
wait, what? Who?
That actually
the Premier Zachary.
Yeah. That actually brings me to thank you for that response, by the way, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob, thank you so much for the response.
The next response, maybe Bobby can help us further in this little conversation
okay, very cool. All right, I always love Bobby.
Of course, the brilliant Bobby says, no, I think he would have had Armin's POV, maybe not for Marley, basically saying his same morality on the rumbling as
Okay.
Armin. And Bobby continues by saying, but I think Irvin would defend if needed if war did come.
Okay.
So yeah, I
So-
think that if there was war on Parody, he would want to.
So does that mean
fight
that
back.
Irvin is out of the picture for the moment over in Marley, but once they decide to go ahead and try to reclaim Aaron over in the island of Parody, that's when Irvin gets involved.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Bobby.
That would be really cool.
I think that would be
And you know what?
a very strong possibility.
That would make a lot of sense as somebody with storytelling who's trying to go out there and come up with a good kind of, just a direction of where Irvin is, and also trying to pull the viewers in. It'd be cool to have us being like Irvin, what, like, we see the shell of himself. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing, dude? Come on.
Like, this is not
But
my
then,
Irvin.
Once shit hits the fan over in Parody, and all of a
Then
sudden,
that gambling commander, he
finally,
comes right back.
we see that life get, just like
Mm-hmm.
rejuvenated, get relit, and all of a sudden the commander is back in full force. Like, that would be something that'd be really cool
Yeah.
to go ahead and see, as long
Yeah.
as he stays away from the wine.
I know.
That would be really
Don't
sad.
drink the wine.
That'd be
I know
really
that
sad.
would. We had lost so many
Only
people during the for the
imagine getting Commander Irvin back, only to lose him in that
wine. Yeah,
moment.
only to see him as a Titan is
Oh my
would be
gosh.
crazy.
Like, that'd be really sad.
But thank you for that, Bobby and Jacob. Thank you
Yeah.
for your guys' responses.
Thank you both so much. And
that
if
was
you guys
great.
want to go ahead and chime in too, by all means, let us know what you guys think. Irvin's pretty much his development would be had he survived.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen to him?
So
How
what
sad-
happens after he reaches the cellar?
How sad would it be if he did survive? He's not a Titan, but he is still there in this leadership role. He is still there with Levi. They're trying to babysit Zeke, but Irvin drank the wine, and he transforms in that forest, and Levi has to go ahead and put him down.
Yeah, I don't even know.
How sad would that be?
I don't know if he would have gotten to I think Levi.
Does Irvin even drink?
I know. Does Irvin
Have
drink?
we seen him drink at all?
I know. That's what I was trying to think too.
Now I'm thirsty. Okay.
I know. But babysit Zeke. Yeah, I don't.
That's right.
I
That would be
wouldn't think
crazy.
That
Eddie says
Okay,
that
Eddie
Irvin
says no,
doesn't.
he doesn't-
So
he doesn't
I guess
know.
that means that there'd be a moment of. I think there would be a little bit of persuading, but I think Levi would be able to go ahead and persuade Irvin to go ahead and have to kill all their allies,
Oh, okay, yeah.
or maybe.
I think that so if he happened to drink the wine and Irvin transforms, I think that Levi would battle with the decision of whether to or not kill him, because I think this is a great asset. If I'm able to get Zeke, eat him. Please eat Zeke, and
Yeah.
then we would get a beast Irvin. Which, what would he be? I don't know. Maybe it's a Q&A question.
Maybe that'll be a next week's
I know.
Q&A.
We don't know.
But that actually does segue us, right?
Yeah, I didn't
love
even mean
it.
to do that. I'm just
I love
so
it.
smart.
I love it. So go ahead and continue on, Lex.
And speaking of Beast Titan and who it would be, Heist is already screaming, dog, 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 dog. We asked you guys if Levi were a Beast Titan, because we did talk about this a little bit last week. If Levi were a Beast Titan, what animal would he be? And I couldn't really think of one. I think I said like a grasshopper or like a praying mantis, something very agile,
Yeah.
something like that.
This is a tricky one. I
And-
don't even have a response.
Yeah, but honestly, after seeing a couple of these, I have to agree with some of them. I could totally see it.
Okay.
So we have our first responses from Jacob,
Yeah.
who is screaming dog, 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 and his answer is easily a dog because of how loyal Levi is.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, I like that you're including
But
personality. into
elaborate,
it.
Jacob. What kind of dog? What breed? What are we
I know.
talking here? You can't just tell us dog. You got to explain more. Jacob.
Well, I will agree. Loyalty is something that Levi has a very strong. He has a very strong characteristic of that.
Yeah.
But there's I've been looking up. I don't know why I've been researching dogs a lot lately.
Okay.
But I think I'm just thinking way into the future of when I want to get a dog, and specifically looking up like hypoallergenic dogs because Luca is unfortunately allergic.
Okay.
But the Doberman actually is probably the most loyal dog.
oh wow.
A golden retriever. Okay. Probably good. Bad. I like that
too.
one.
Bad. That's a good
I like
one.
that one. A cat, because cats hate to be dirty and stay clean. I like
Yes,
that.
that's
And they
a
do have a
good
lot of
response.
attitude, just like Levi. Wow, that's good too.
Wow.
But
I could totally see him as a cat.
yeah, same. But Dobermans are super loyal, so loyal that that's what they're bred for. And that I think it was the military tried to use Dobermans, like they were trying to utilize Dobermans, especially the police academy trying to utilize Dobermans, but they had to stop because Dobermans are so loyal that they couldn't change owners of the Doberman.
Oh, wow.
So if it was like, okay, this person is no longer on, this person retired or whatever, okay, their Doberman is still young and good. Next person in line can get this Doberman. That Doberman doesn't care about that new guy.
Wow.
I don't care that you're retired. I am still gonna stay loyal to you. That's how loyal Dobermans are. And also they're really cool. They're slick. They're black. They're really cool. So that's also why I think if Levi were a dog, he'd be Doberman.
So that's your response, Doberman. That's really cool, and that would be really terrifying for sure as a beast type.
Yeah, a Doberman beast titan. It literally would be that what's the three-headed dog in like Greek mythology?
Yeah, I can remember
Yeah.
the name of it, but
It's like starts with a D, I think. If any of you guys know it, please. Heisa says a Chihuahua because he's little and
oh, interesting.
feisty.
How does it say Cerberus?
Yes, Cerberus. That's his name. Cerberus.
Cerberus.
Thank you. That is his
Yeah,
name.
thank you for that, Jacob.
But yeah, thanks for that response, Jacob. Yeah. And then this next one from Eddie, friend of the show, Eddie, joining us here in chat. I love this answer. I think this one's my favorite answer of all of them. And I
Really?
never have favorites.
Okay.
But I'm also very biased because he says a hare, which is a wild rabbit.
Oh, okay.
And I think can you imagine a giant wild rabbit, so agile, very powerful legs,
yeah.
just
Damn. I can see
hopping
that story.
around and chomping on people?
Damn. That's really good too.
That's good. I love that answer, Eddie. That's a great answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that you said that answer because of the agility that a hare has. Says, right, Lex sees it, right? I totally see it. I'm also very biased because I love rabbits, but yeah,
that was a really good response.
that's a great answer, Eddie.
Damn,
I
is
like
another
that.
Really good one.
Yeah, these are all really good answers. Okay, next we have Hater Xenon, also known as Josh, or I Repent is who is Josh here with us in chat. He says, probably a chipmunk.
A chipmunk? Yeah.
Again, more with these little agile little animals.
The little agile animals that you have to go ahead and can't help but think about it with Levi. You have to put
That
those
would
things
also be terrifying.
Yeah.
A chipmunk.
Yeah.
Dang. Thank you for that. Next we have from belated birthday man himself, Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny says a little chimp or a lemur.
Oh, okay.
A lemur is also a really good response.
Yeah. Damn, man, these are all so good.
I know. I'm imagining them all as these little
I'm
beast types
picturing Levi as
transforming, and it's just like a capuchin monkey. Like
wow.
or a little lemur. You see Levi in the distance. Leap.
Yeah. Leap.
For those of you who know where that's from, you're a real one. Thank you for that, Kenny. And then we have another. Yeah, last one. Last response is from the show Bobby7.
Okay.
Thank you, Bobby. He says, probably a badger or a mongoose. So
Oh,
some more
wow.
of these little animals
But
that
also-
are agile.
They're also very ferocious.
Yes. Yeah, badgers.
Yeah, badgers are crazy little fuckers.
They're crazy.
Yeah. Like, damn.
But they're so cute. I love badgers. They look like they have like goth eyeliner. They have goth makeup on.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Damn, that's really good too. That's even in the same family as like a what do they call them, like a Wolverines or whatever.
Yeah, like
stuff.
Wolverines.
Damn.
And a mongoose. Okay, so those are all of the responses
Those are
that
all
we have.
so good.
And they're all beautiful
Oh my
responses. I don't disagree with any of
I
them.
don't either.
They're all so good.
I guess for me, my mindset is I'm only trying to think of a crane.
Yeah.
I'm only trying to think of something that somehow we've seen, and maybe we haven't seen it because we don't get a whole lot of it, but from his origin, from his backstory, from, you know, and I know we kind of just jokingly talking about, oh, he's a roach or
Yeah.
you know,
He's a rat.
He's a rat. But
He's a field mouse.
there's got to be more
That
to
would
that.
also be terrifying.
There's got to be more to that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There's got to be something in there.
And that's the kind of link because we've seen with certain Beast Titan, like users, there's some sort of subliminal little like origin thing where we see whatever they end up becoming.
Yeah.
Whether it be with Dr. Saver.
Yeah, with this like ram.
The ram over
plush.
there, and then same thing even with obviously with Zeke. We've seen when we get to his story as a child and he has that little kind of plush or whatever thing.
A giant corgi. Yeah, because of the short legs. Dang, dude, a giant corgi. They got some round, juicy booties. A giant corgi. Don't let that near Pixis.
No, not at all.
I do really like the dog, specifically. I mean, me personally, specifically a Doberman. But I think my favorite would have to be the hare.
Yeah, I even like Bats, the cat. The cat one's really good too.
Yeah, the cat is really good
and the
too.
cats they're so like...
He's a tuxedo cat for sure.
Yeah, a lot of good ones. A lot of good responses, and I can definitely see Levi becoming any single one of those responses.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Me too.
Thank you guys all so much.
Good.
Wow. That was really
Tune in
good.
for when we have Isayama on, and we will ask him.
We'll ask him who would Levi turn into if he was a Beast Titan. Yeah, that's a good one. And maybe we can go ahead and ask the whole urban one. That'd be a fun one in the future. Whether it be this week or whether it be at some point. We have time to go and talk about urban story, of course.
So look out for more Q&As. Thank you guys for all of your responses. You guys are all so brilliant.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, stuff that me and AJ were not even thinking of, but they're all so accurate and so right. And I totally can see your guys' reasoning for your answers too.
Yep.
And yeah, Isayama's answer is the definitive answer.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you guys so much. Tune in on Fridays and Saturdays that we post on our story at Attack the Talk podcast on Instagram for more Q&As and polls. Maybe a double Q&A, maybe a double poll. I don't know. Tune in to find out.
Yeah, you just don't know. We don't even know sometimes.
I know, we don't even know.
We don't even know sometimes.
So, yeah.
Very cool. Thank you guys again so much for the awesome responses with both Q&As. Wow. Good stuff, guys.
That was good.
Woo. All right. I'm trying to go ahead and see if I'm ready for this, but
I know.
we have an incredible story to go ahead and cover. This is going to be season 3, episode 17. This is part 2 of our episode breakdown and discussion. Baba says, sorry, I only answer live. I'm bad with social media and saying, no worries, bad, no worries at all.
No problem. We love that you're joining us live. That is no problem at all. And I love your cat answer.
Yes.
That's so smart.
The live responses is fun to go ahead and just go ahead and get into, like it's cool to go ahead and see the response happen live. That whole element of it is really, really cool. And
because you get something that other people don't get. You get to hear all the other answers and then
that's true. Yeah, that's exactly true. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and do a quick recap. Stuff that's going to be important, of course, to what we're going to go ahead and focus on. Now, the most important recap is that Commander Irvin, he's on a full-on charge. Things aren't looking good for him. He appears to be dead, as much like a lot of other scouts that were over on this charge. The Beast Titan is doing his thing until Levi enters the picture. Levi goes in and he takes care of the Beast Titan, but the Beast Titan, Zeke, is saved by the cart. The cart Titan is able to go ahead and rescue Zeke. Zeke thinks that he has Levi. Now that he thinks Levi has no more resources when it comes to, his ODM gear. So he just pretty much just will allow the other remaining pure Titans to go ahead and finish off Levi. And Levi is kind of at a point where he's just like, wait, like, I made this promise. Like, I made this promise to Irvin, and
you could see the rage and the remorse and the regret. Like, you could just see it all, and the great voice acting too.
Yeah. And so that is kind of what they're dealing with there. As far as what's happening inside the walls, we actually talked about it last week as well. So Armin is lacking confidence. Bertold has transformed into the Colossal Titan.
Yeah.
Jean is the one in charge right now. Aaron is on top of the wall.
Yeah.
Kind of unconscious. And Rhina is back on his feet in his Armor Titan form. Things are not looking good for our Levi squad that is inside of the walls. We're going to find out how things play out here. But Bertold is destroying Shiganshina.
Yeah.
And we know that he's making his way over to the wall. And I'm sure maybe that is by orders of Zeke. Maybe he was informed to go ahead and do that. But yeah, things are not looking good. So we're going to go ahead and find out how this plays out with our scouts inside the wall. And Lexi, of course, is going to go ahead and narrate for us again in this episode.
Yeah, because AJ's got a lot of lines.
I got a lot of lines. And I think actually, too, I also have to use the restroom.
I think
I'm trying to decide because, yeah, I'm going to go now because that way I don't have to worry about going in the middle of our breakdowns.
Breakdown? Okay, yeah, no problem.
But yeah, so go ahead and chat up, guys. I'll be right back.
Jeez.
Boom.
Let me go ahead and let you through. Okay.
Just donkey kick that chair.
Yeah, you did.
All right, I'll be back.
Oh. I'll be hanging out. Hanging out with all of you guys. Hysis says I changed my answer like 3 times. Yeah, I did too. Oh my gosh, you saw the little recording in progress sign that we have on our door. That's so cool. That's the first time you guys have ever seen that sign. Yeah, we do have a recording in progress sign up on our door. But yeah, I totally agree, Hysis. I changed my answer like every new response I read, I totally saw the vision. I totally agreed. It's really good. And I'm excited for when we eventually ask you guys the Irvin question on what he would be as a colossal. I mean, as a beast. I just realized that AJ's mic stand is totally in my frame, but whatever. Yeah, I'm excited to see your guys' response to that because you guys are so smart. You guys have so much insight. It's pretty crazy. And again, I'll probably change my answer a bunch of times when I read that one too. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm not good at this little hosting thing. That's what AJ is for.
There you go.
Hello.
Back again. Okay, slide on through. Woo!
I was telling them about how it's the first time they've ever seen that on air sign, the recording in progress sign.
Oh.
Because it was like perfectly in frame when you open the door. And I was like, yeah, guys, we put that on the door. Little sneak peek.
You know, you gotta let people know that are outside of this door.
Yeah.
I'll let them know.
You know, that
Also,
the studio is on air.
Pour myself some chocolate.
Oh, ASMR.
Thank you again. This is again courtesy of my girlfriend. Thank you so much again.
Very good. Has Luca ever been on the show? No, he has not. He's not really.
Technically, he has, but
True. Technically, he has.
he hasn't.
But not on camera and not with a mic, but in the room, providing some insight. He was kind of like our little
Producer.
Yeah, a little producer, a little technician in the background. But no, he has not, and he doesn't really want to be.
The Oracle. Every now and
Yeah,
then,
the Oracle.
when he was here as a producer, we would look over to him and he'd be like,
Yeah. Or there was a few times that I was talking and he would text me the word that I'm looking for. He'd be like,
Very
yeah, like
good.
this. And I'd be like, yes, that. Like he just gets me. But he's not really, he doesn't feel like he can like maybe add a whole lot. He's not super talkative and he
likes to be behind the scenes.
Yeah, he
know?
likes to be more of a in the background, behind the scenes kind of guy. And
Very helpful.
And that's all right.
Very helpful in other ways. You know?
Yeah.
You have the people who are the voices, or I should say this way, since Lexi is that way.
Yeah.
No, that way.
Yeah. Yeah. These.
The voices,
Look at your little.
the faces.
Look at your little mic stand.
Oh, my mic stand's still there again.
Yeah, it was totally in the way the whole time you were in the bathroom. I was like, all right, guys. Well.
Yes. Good stuff. This chocolate's good stuff.
We continue the episode. I just started narrating now. Voice now.
All good stuff, guys. You know, this is what we do. We hang out. Right? Fuck it.
Yeah, Luca's never been on an episode, so you guys have never seen him. So is he real? Is Luca real?
Oh my god, is Luca real?
You've never seen him. You've never seen Luca and Johnny Depp in the same room together, have you?
Can't say that I have.
Maybe they're...
Can't say that I've seen Johnny Depp anywhere.
I know. I've actually never seen him.
Is he even real?
I know. That's true. You've never seen those celebrities in real life. Are they real?
Anybody in those courtrooms have seen him, so he must be real.
I know. True.
All right. I think I'm ready.
I am as well.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Not sure my voice is, but I am. And Marco goes, what is real?
It's true.
All right. Before we start getting all
feelings and emotions.
Philosophical. All right. So we continue the episode as now we're inside the wall in the Shinganshina district. We see the Colossal Titan and the Armor Titan slowly walking through the destroyed village. Jean, hidden with the other Levi squad members, reacts as Rhina being back in action.
That bastard. What'll it take to put him down for good? Why won't he just stay dead? What the hell do we do against something like that?
We see a terrified Sasha and Connie.
Hey, Armin. I think getting Aaron out of here safely might be the best bet we can hope for.
Armin, analyzing Bertolt's Colossal Titan, says,
He's thinner.
Mikasa and John both look at Armin confused. Armin explains.
The Colossal Titan. He's gotten a little thinner. Guys, it's exactly like Hanji said. Our best bet against the Colossal is a battle of attrition. You remember her experiments with Eren? He could only transform up to 3 times. If that's the case for a 15-meter Titan, a 60-meter might even be less efficient. And then there's his steam. I think he must be burning through flesh and muscle tissue to produce it. Everything except for his skeleton.
Jean asks.
So, what are you saying?
And Armin responds to Jean.
I have a plan. The rest of you need to draw Rhino away. Eren and I will defeat the Colossal Titan ourselves.
Jean stares at Armin in disbelief and shock. Mikasa looks at Armin with concern, but then, immediately, her expression changes to focus as she's ready to end this. Mikasa responds, All right then, you leave Rhina to us, and get going. We see Armin expressing that confidence again, as Jean tells Armin,
Sure took you long enough. You had me thinking we were all gonna die here.
Armin takes off using his ODM gear one way, towards the Colossal Titan, and Jean and Mikasa head in the opposite direction, towards the Armored. As we zoom in on a refocused Armin, we hear Eren's words from when they were traveling back to Shinganshina.
Couldn't tell you why, but when I think about the freedom that we all lost, I feel strong and fearless.
Armin makes it to the top of the wall to rendezvous with an incapacitated Eren in his Titan form. Armin lands on his chest and anchors to stabilize himself. Armin thinks to himself as we piece in his demeanor.
If this plan goes the way I'm hoping it will, well, I won't get to visit the sea.
Armin prepares to shock Eren awake by positioning his blades above Eren's chest.
I couldn't tell you why, but when I think of the outside world, I feel courage flow through me.
Armin punctures his blades through Eren's chest.
Eren, wake up!
We see the Colossal Titan in the background slowly making its way towards Eren and Armin.
The sea is waiting for us.
All right.
Wow.
Well,
Damn.
again, like I said earlier, heavy episode, and it's only going to get heavier.
At this point now, we know that Eren, not Eren, I should say, Armin knows what he has to do.
Yeah.
And it's obviously evident by that last line, right? Well, I shouldn't say the last line, but I should say actually a line he says before. It's part of his conversation that he has before he's trying to go and wake Eren up. Mm-hmm. So let me clarify by saying that it becomes very clear what Armin has to do when he says that if this plan goes the way I'm hoping it will, I won't get to visit the sea.
Yeah.
And that there is like, wait, what the fuck's going on? Right?
Yeah.
Because-
Like, what do you mean you won't get to... What do you mean?
Because it's like, as I mentioned,
What are you planning?
As I mentioned at the start of this episode, there's certain things that play out to where we don't get details, we don't get information, we're left in the dark, right? And the characters say certain things where we're like, leaves us questioning, like, wait, what does he mean by that? Right?
Yeah.
Because we don't know how it's going to play out at that time. And
Again, sometimes as viewers, we're not even in the loop.
yeah, and wow, it's crazy. And even Heise here talking about the sea. Excuse me. He says, and just across that sea, freedom is waiting. And Armin, he goes and he notices this. He has this book, right, where he's able to go ahead and see. And this book came to him because of his parents, where his parents were seeking that adventure of seeing the outside world.
And however his parents got that book.
Yeah, that's to be determined. I don't think we'll ever get the answer.
Yeah.
But what Heise here is mentioning is the word freedom, right? Mm-hmm. And that is the freedom where it's the revelation that the world is so much bigger than what it is, right? And so they're seeking that freedom.
Yeah.
And that is what we understand is Armin's motivation, what he aspires to go ahead and do, and that is to visit all of these amazing locations, all of these amazing just things that he sees over in this book. We talked about Irvin and how his motivation is the truth for his father, right? And another character in Armin is that his motivation is to be able to go ahead and see the outside world, to explore the beauty that is there.
Experience freedom. And his definition of freedom is experiencing these unknown things that, water or fire that moves like water. And, eventually he does see it.
And the thing that's crazy, though, is that, like, we were just talking about how even speculating with Irvin and what would happen to him had he survived. And you had mentioned midlife crisis. We mentioned about, just a potential depression here. But when he's having that conversation with Levi, he's essentially telling Levi the same thing here that Armin is explaining to Aaron. Even though Aaron, we don't know if he can hear him or not. We know that Aaron is not awake. He is incapacitated because he tried to go ahead and charge the Colossal Titan and he got punted. But Irvin in that conversation with Levi is essentially telling him that I'm not going to be able to make it to that cellar.
Yeah.
And now we have Armin here saying, I'm not going to be able to visit the sea.
Yeah, I won't be able to make it to the sea.
What
do you mean?
Another strange connection to these characters, these two characters that are going to be constantly kind of compared, whether it's Armin comparing himself, whether it's us comparing the decision, whatever the case is. Another comparison here, but also a moment here where we look like we're going to lose both those characters. And we talked about what those characters do for the story. Yeah. They're such great thinkers and great planners, and their instincts are off the charts, where they are such great tools for humanity going forward and their survival, right? And yeah, it's difficult to see to see Armin over in the state, but it is nice to see Armin have a plan. Right? And I think at that moment here, Jean even says, like, it took you long enough, man. Because Jean, we talked about Jean as a leader, right? We understand that he has the qualities, but he also has limitations. Yeah. Right? We're at a point here where Jean is very limited. He tried to do what he felt was best, right? And Jean also has another good at this moment, he's telling Armin, like, our best bet now is to just get Aaron, to safety, right? Which is what you want to see in, a leader where, all right, whatever our greatest weapon, we need to protect that, right? Which, again, we already tried to go ahead and do others potential ways to go ahead and deal with the Colossal, deal with the Armored, but it's not working, right? Like the you suicidal maniac. Yeah, exactly. Which is very, very funny to go ahead and have Jean want to go ahead and protect Aaron. But, that's just because of the whole kind of comedic elements of their relationship, those two.
Yeah, that's funny.
We have suicidal maniac and then we have the horse face.
Yeah.
But man, so there must have been so much relief in that moment where you feel like you're kind of backs against the wall. There's nothing else you guys can do, right? Aaron is kind of like he's out of the picture for the moment. Yeah,
incapacitated.
And it's like, what else do we do here? And when you have a character like Armin say,
Arlet,
I have a plan. That is like,
tell me.
You're like, thank God, oh my gosh. Yeah. And
it just happens to be that those two characters that you love to hear I have a plan from, being Irvin and Armin, happen to be that their plan is, I won't be able to see what I won't be able to do or see what I've been searching to do my whole life, what I've been striving to do my whole life.
Yeah.
But basically sacrificing themselves for the betterment of humanity.
And that's something to be said there, right there too, because the quality of them willing to lay down their lives.
Yeah.
Or, as we mentioned, characters, and we talked about why this episode's name is Hero.
Yeah.
And it's because you have characters and their qualities where they're willing to go ahead and lay down their lives to protect those that they care about. Mm-hmm. And we see that term, that word, hero. When you think of Attack on Titan, mm-hmm. I think without any question, characters that come to your, and there's going to be a few characters that come to your mind, mm-hmm. but I think that Armin and Irvin are always going to come to mind.
Yeah.
When you think
heroes,
of the word hero.
Yeah.
And again,
very
it's just
heroic qualities.
Yes, and I like that about it. And thank you, Lex, for bringing that connection, because we talked about how these characters are very much connected.
I think of Flock.
Says I think of Flock.
That's
as
the
a
last
hero.
person I think of, but all right.
I think again, it's all about the perspectives here.
Yes.
If you agree with Aaron, and we know that you do, my friend.
I guess that's a hero to you.
But yeah. Yeah, I think of Deku. But yeah, I mean, again, we're going to talk about how the episode is titled Hero and why it is and all that and stuff. And we see those qualities. We see now a moment here where certain characters have to become the hero in this battle. And
we have the brilliant Armin coming up with a plan, because he notices the fine details of things. He noticed that this Colossal's thinner.
Yeah.
Hanji did experiments with Eren. So with that knowledge that we have about the Titan warrior that we have here, or the Titan, I would say Titan warrior, Titan user that we have here, what's the difference between our Titan user and their Titan user?
Yeah, great point.
I said things of All Might when he hears the word hero.
And exactly what you were talking about here, like, Armin wasn't just sitting around being afraid and not doing anything when he gave leadership over to Jean. Mm-hmm. At that point there, Armin...
He just needed some more time to think, to analyze.
Exactly. And we know that Armin, his initial reaction was to go ahead and try to rendezvous with the commander.
Yeah.
Right? To go ahead and try to reassess and formulate a plan.
Yeah.
Right? But understanding that timing is on their side, then Jean took leadership, while Armin decided to go ahead and kind of analyze,
do his Armin
and
thing,
try to, like Lexi said, he simply needed more time to try to go ahead and formulate a plan.
Yeah, notice some fine details, think of every possibility. That's why we love Armin. Yeah.
Obviously, we understand that Armin is very, very intelligent, which is why even like Lexi was saying that, you know, he talks about the experiments that Hanji was having and stuff. And then again, to be able to go ahead and call back for moments like that, like, I don't think a lot of these characters, I don't think we see Jean or Connie are going to go ahead and think about, oh, the experiments that Hanji did.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Connie's going to be
it's like, oh, look, he's thinner.
Yeah.
Or,
you know, like, well, I mean, with all due respect to those
Sasha and
characters,
Connie are terrified.
Yeah, with all due respect to those characters, like, you know, they bring their own, you know, kind of qualities to the group, but being able to go ahead and recall details and past events, I don't think is their forte.
Yeah.
But
they're more of a they're great.
They're great support.
They're great support. They're great at following commands, and they're very loyal.
Is very instinctual. She has great awareness.
Sasha has great
She's
hunting instincts. She's great with her ODM gear.
Yeah.
Connie keeps everyone smiling, maybe. Sometimes, perhaps.
But yeah, so Armin was able to go ahead and kind of reassess everything and now has a plan. And what's interesting to me is that when he goes and he tells essentially what Jean and the others have to do and what him and Eren are going to do, I can't help but think, like, if I'm Jean or anybody over on that group that has to go and deal with the Armored Titan, I'm like, okay, well, we've dealt with the Armored Titan before with the weapons that we have, the Thunder Spears. Okay, we can go ahead and do that. But when you're telling me that you and Eren, talking about Armin and Eren, that you both are going to deal with the Colossal Titan?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? All of us together couldn't deal with him.
What do you have in mind? You know? And that's stuff that, again, even watching this, we're not even aware what the plan is, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
So we're like, even us as the viewers are thinking, okay, how are you going to go ahead and deal with the, you know, the Colossal?
Yeah.
And man, we start getting kind of, you know, more understanding with Armin's words once he reaches Eren over on top of the wall. he's trying to use the same tactic that he did with when Eren knocked himself out. Remember when he's trying to go ahead and punch Mikasa?
Mikasa like a fly.
And he knocked himself out. So now, you know, trying to go ahead and shock him back awake. It doesn't necessarily work out though. Initially, once he pierces Armin's blades through Eren's chest. Mm-hmm. But we're gonna find out what happens. Maybe it's something that Eren sees. Maybe it isn't what he sees. Maybe it's just visualizations for us, the viewer.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and jump into the episode again. But before, do we have any other things we need to go ahead and kind of talk about? You think, Lex, over and what we just talked about?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Because the only other thing, of course, and it's not a surprise, but like Mikasa, she's ready to go ahead and can carry on with the mission. I think for her, she's the type of character where maybe she doesn't like just standing back doing nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to Eren's safety.
Yeah.
You know, I think she's so
let's not the more time we take thinking, the more time our enemy gets to also think of their plan.
Yeah.
And we're just
I think she gets very anxious when it comes to like wanting to protect Eren. And so
because Mikasa is not she doesn't hesitate.
No.
So she's very much of just like I'm going to act with confidence because I know what I can do. Mm-hmm. So let's just tell me something to do now because I'm ready.
Yeah.
Basically.
Last thing, I guess, on this specific part of the episode, but kind of talking about motivations a little bit, talking about what helps them, right, is there's a moment here when Eren and the others are traveling back to Shiganshina, and Eren, he talks about what makes him feel fearless and strong, right? And that was the moment when they're traveling back. It's dark. They're in this forest, right? Mm-hmm. And Eren is like they're carrying little lanterns.
Little lanterns, yeah. And you could see that he's shaking.
Eren is shaking, and Eren's trying to go ahead and not appear to be shaking.
Yeah.
And Armin's like, "Are you afraid too?" And then Eren's like,
"Cold."
"Oh, no, I'm just cold." But Eren's words when he talks about like, let me go ahead and find the exact line again. Eren's words where he says, "I couldn't tell you, but when I think about the freedom that we lost, I feel strong and fearless." Mm-hmm. Right? And we understand that early on over we like literally the first episode is such a huge moment in the story where we see with Eren, like that's something that for him, like he has so much disgust and disdain, and he wants to kill all these Titans, you know? But he's lost so much, he's lost his home. And when he thinks about that, he thinks about the people along the line that, you know, sacrificed themselves, lost their lives, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. When he thinks about these Titans, when he thinks about these traitors taking away his home and his freedom, that is what pisses him off, and that's what makes him feel strong, right?
Like that word motivation that you used. And
then with Armin, he says, "I couldn't tell you why, but when I think about the outside world, I feel the courage flow through me." And it's like you said, Lexi, like his motivation is being able to see the beauty of the world that's outside of what they know. And
thinking very like big picture.
Yeah. And it's a cool thing too to go ahead and kind of see, I guess, is to see these characters really kind of you know, carry on with their missions, and especially in these crazy moments here, because it'd be so easy to go ahead and just freaking want to shit your pants or something, you know?
Yeah.
But any kind of little motivations you can find, and clearly Eren's is trying to gain freedom, whereas with Armin is trying to explore the freedom of everything that's outside of you know, the walls.
Yeah. And we'll get more into Armin's fearlessness and all that in not in this part, but in the next part of this episode. Because there's a pretty cool flashback moment that we'll probably go back. We'll probably bring back this discussion right now. Later
probably, yeah. All right, so we're gonna continue on now.
So we continue as we see Eren inside of his Titan form slowly waking up, but then we get a few different shots, some glimpses of moments. The first we see an inaudible Armin trying to communicate to Eren. Then we see an expressionless Queen Astoria back at the family farm, while we see military soldiers watching in the background. Then we see Premier Zachary in the capital, gathered with other high-ranking officials in some sort of meeting or deliberation. Among the high-ranking officials, we notice Commander Dot Pixis and Commander Nile Doc. Then, we see on top of what we can assume is Walrose of Stowhead's district is Garrison Squad, leader Rico, and her garrison soldiers on lookout. And finally, we see a depressed Hitch, just staring out her window, maybe waiting for someone to return. Oh. We see Armin as he explains his plan to Aaron.
Okay, that's the plan, more or less.
We see Aaron's Titan is sitting upright, listening carefully.
So now we just have to execute it. If we can succeed in tricking Bertold, then we'll win. The day will be ours.
As we get this epic shot of Armin on Aaron's shoulder, as they both stare with determination, preparing to deal with Rhina, we see Mikasa, Jean, and the Taekwon duo heading to their positions. Jean asks the group,
Understand? We're leaving Bertold to them. We have to trust that they can handle him. As for us, we need to keep Rhina at a safe distance. Fly just close enough to get him to get his attention.
Jean's not the right.
Yeah, he stumbles sometimes. The group acknowledges as they approach the armor Titan. Rhina begins charging towards them, but Rhina rushes past them. Looking back, Sasha reacts. He ignored us. Jean also reacts.
Damn it! It looks like he's focused on Aaron.
Mikasa reacts with her aggressive overprotection. Then we'll just have to kill him. Mikasa, without any regard for her own safety, aggressively pursues Rhina. Mikasa tracks down Rhina and launches a thunder spear that connects with the back of his left knee, causing Rhina to crash land onto the ground. Jean yells out to Mikasa to try to get her to stop, but Mikasa intensely informs him, if we can't get Rhina's attention, we'll have to finish him off right here. Our job is to protect Aaron and Armin. A briefly threatened Jean responds.
Yeah, I know that.
Connie informs.
We've only got 3 thunder spears, that's all!
Sasha adds with determination. We've got to try anyway, because there's no way we're going to win if we don't fight. The squad heads towards Rhina as Rhina watches. Rhina wonders to himself.
Something hit me. But what? A single attack took out my knee? I can't remember much after that moment.
We recall Bertold telling Rhina's unconscious Titan.
I'm gonna blow this whole area away. If you can, lie down with your Titan body facing upwards.
Rhina continues, processing.
Bertold. I'm confused. What the hell happened to me?
As we see Rhina's human face portraying a pretty Squidward appearance.
I don't know what's going on. I don't have much strength left, but I do know Aaron's over there.
As we see Bertold's colossal Titan approaching Aaron.
As long as we capture him, that means we've got what we came for. Right, Bertold? I'll deal with these idiots as quickly as I can, and then head over to back you up.
We now get Bertold's point of view from his Titan form.
The 4 of them who went that way must be after Rhina. So, the only ones who survived the blast were the members of the 104th, who were with Aaron. Honestly, I was hoping they would have all died in the blast. But I'm used to having to fight for what I want. Armin, what's the point of waking Aaron when he's all battered like that? These are your final moments. I'm interested to see how you'll spend them.
We get that shot again of Armin on Aaron's shoulder, as they both stare with determination at Bertold. Armin tells Aaron,
The real question is, how long can I hold out? It's on me. If I give up too soon, the plan will fail, no matter how good it is.
A surprised and stunned Aaron reacts as he tells himself,
Huh? Hold on. Armin, are you...
Armin then looks at Aaron's Titan in the eye and says,
Sorry, but I can't die till I get a chance to look at the sea. So I'll have to let go before things get really bad, okay? The rest will be up to you. No big surprise. I mean, I've never actually been a hero, so...
But then, Aaron responds as he thinks to himself,
No, you're wrong. You just can't see what I do.
Armin continues.
Don't worry. It'll be okay. In all the years we've known each other, have I ever lied to you? And I promised that we'd go to the sea together.
There's a brief pause, and a stunned Aaron watches Armin, and Armin gives a reassuring smile as he leaves to carry out his mission.
So no matter what happens, stick to my plan till the end.
Aaron's Titan watches Armin get into position. Then he stares at the incoming Colossal Titan. But then, in terrible timing fashion, Aaron stumbles off the wall as the fragile border of the wall crumbles underneath Aaron's feet. Aaron falls and crashes onto the ground as Armin watches with great concern, and Bertold watches with shocked confusion. Armin yells out to Aaron as Bertold reacts.
I knew it. The battle's already won. He probably has a severe concussion. I doubt he can even stand up on his own. Enough of this. Let's end it.
To be continued.
Wow. Wow.
Very, very great plan coming up. And might I say, I think that what's coming up in this next part is, I think that this is probably one of the most, I was going to use that word too, Eddie. I think it's one of the most unique and very thoughtful plan that we've seen these characters, period, use.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very smart.
Yeah, wow. Really, really interesting. And so now we're going to go ahead and talk about this whole scene here. And starting with just the moments that we begin with. And again, as I mentioned, I don't know if these are moments that maybe, because we know that Aaron is waking up from the, being freaking booted over to the wall. I don't know if this is Aaron, what he's kind of seeing, because it goes from initially, it's kind of Aaron noticing Armin. We can't hear Armin's words, but we see that Armin's trying to communicate to Aaron.
Yeah, talking to him.
But then the next things we see is, though, it's like we see a very numb, again, expressionless Queen Historia. Mm-hmm. She doesn't look like a queen in this scene. She's very much just wearing like very basic attire. She looks like she doesn't really care about her appearance too much. Mm-hmm. She has her hair just very down and it's not really,
she just looks like unkempt and just very relaxed.
Yes, and she's just there, just kind of staring. We notice that she's over at her farm, and she has like these military soldiers that are there, I'm assuming to protect her and be there and surround it and make sure she's okay. A very interesting scene, I guess, to get as a viewer. And then again, the next one we see is Premier Zachary and others doing some sort of meeting and deliberation. Who knows what they're talking about in that moment? Who knows? But again, we know that the commander of the garrison unit is there with, Dot Pixis. And then we have the commander of the military police is there with Nile Doc.
Yeah.
Obviously, those two are as high ranking as they get in terms of their specific regiments. And we don't know what they're talking about because, again, we don't hear. But one thing to notice is that Premier Zachary also looks very worn out. Very, it just seemed like he's sitting there kind of just like almost tired, exhausted. Like, let's just get this over with. I'm sure he probably wants to go ahead and work on his chair again.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He's like, I just want to get out of here.
But yeah, he, again, these characters, from what we see, and just from these two scenes, these two little moments, Queen Historia, she looks like she's not really invested. The Premier Zachary looks like he's almost like wasting his time. He's just kind of like sitting there.
It's not a very hopeful couple of clips.
Yeah, definitely not hopeful at all. And then we see, and this is one of Jacob's girls. We see Rico.
Yeah.
Rico is there. She looks like she is prepared. They're ready. She and her squad are up there over on top of Wall Rose, prepared for whatever may come their way. Maybe also I was thinking maybe they're there on lookout for. We understand that the scouts now have the invention of the guillotine tactic now, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they're there trying to go ahead and reel in Titans. Maybe, who knows? We don't see exactly what they're there looking out for.
Exactly what their objective is.
Yeah. But we know that Rico is still there. She's still very much ready and prepared. And I will say her squad looks like they're prepared as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
Good
like
job, Rico.
from what we've seen over in past where, you know, they're not prepared for whenever the moment happens. And then there's going to be panic that sets in. No, they look like they're ready. But then this final scene that we go ahead and we get, this little glimpse, is it's a more somber one. It's a more, you know, sad scene that we get, and that is just Hitch, who she's just in her room. You know, she's just staring out in the window. You know, she literally just has her head rested over on her hand.
Yeah.
She's just kind of there, just staring, looking very depressed.
Yeah.
Looking like, you know, she's, as we mentioned here,
Yeah.
like she's just waiting for someone.
Yeah.
Which is really sad
Which,
because
unfortunately,
we know that,
that someone
we know how
is
close
no longer with us.
her and Marlo got.
Yeah.
And they very much had that kind of typical little, you know, you think of that school ground kind of like whatever, where it's almost like the dynamic where she goes out there and she likes to constantly kind of like, you know, make fun, poke, tease and stuff like that. But in reality, you know, she probably has feelings for Marlo. And here, you know, it seems that she's waiting for Marlo, whereas with Marlo, the final moments, the final thing that he sees is Hitch. Mm-hmm. And again, it's a really sad thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially for her, she's waiting for his return, knowing that he's not going to.
Yeah, not knowing, that he's.
Yeah, that he's gone. And it's strange to go ahead and start with these scenes, but maybe it's just kind of updating us on what's happening over in other places of, you know, the wall.
Again, thinking big picture, kind of like how Armin thinks big picture. Just like, don't forget, you're not just sucked into this one little moment. You have to think about everything and everybody involved.
Yeah. And also, again, as I mentioned here, it's like we don't get the full understanding of what the plan is. As Armin literally, his words, the words we hear from Armin saying like, so that's the plan more or less. Yeah. And we're like, wait, what?
Like,
what's the plan?
I didn't hear it.
You know?
Say it again.
And so Aaron now, he's upright. He's still in his Titan form. You know, he's listening. And Armin is telling Aaron, like, look, if this is successful, then we will win. Okay. And then I really like that shot of Aaron in his Titan, right? And then you have Armin there in the shoulder, and they both look like they're ready for business. They're ready to go out there, and they look both so determined to go ahead and succeed no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, we understand that Aaron is a very determined character, right? He's very passionate about pursuing freedom, right? Armin has never really been that character that is determined. I should say he has his own moments, you know, where he's determined to do certain things, but that falls more along the line of like trying to maintain peace, trying to go out there and protect lives and stuff like that, you know. But in this moment, it looks to me like Armin is ready to go ahead and do whatever it takes. Mm-hmm. Granted, we don't know his full plan yet at this moment, right?
Yeah.
But I like that moment. I like what we see from those two characters because, like you were saying, when we get those glimpses, we feel very hopeless.
Yeah.
Whereas here, we get like a glimmer of hope because these characters look like they're ready for
there's a plan
to take
they
on
look ready to
the
do
colossal
it.
Titan.
There's some confidence being exuded from them.
Yeah, confidence is a great word to go ahead and use. And then we of course go ahead and go to the other Levi Squad members who have to deal with the Armored Titan. That is Jean, and as Mika said, that is the Taekwondo duo of Connie and Sasha. And Jean essentially telling him, look, so essentially we need to focus on keeping Rhina at a safe distance, keeping, you know, the Armored Titan away from Bertolt and the others being Armin and Aaron. And they think that it's talked about last portion of the episode that we tried to go and break down. Mm-hmm. I can imagine you probably think that, okay, that's our order. All right, we can do that because we already took care of Rhina.
Yeah.
You know? So let's just do it again. Exactly. And the difference here, though, is that while they make their way to Rhina runs past them.
Yeah, he's ignoring them.
And
it's not that, we can distract him. No, he doesn't even care that you're there.
Doesn't care that you're there.
But also very good for them. He doesn't remember about the Thunder Spheres.
Exactly. That's what I was
doesn't
going to go ahead and
remember.
mention is that as soon as Mikasa notices that he's going after Eren, that of course frustrates, Mikasa.
Again, like
Nobody-
I said earlier, she does not hesitate, especially when it comes to Eren. She is ready to protect her man.
Yeah. The others react, and Mikasa goes out there and is able to, take Reina down.
And I gotta
Reina-
say, that is a great shot, great aim, because
Yeah.
he's in the middle of running. It was perfect timing, perfect aim. Like, when you go back and watch the episode, it is like he's in the middle of like his left leg was coming back after the stride, so his heel is still coming down. It's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Even though it may seem like she's reacting on impulse, it's very calculated what Mikasa does. She's very good at what she does.
Exactly. And maybe that's why Jacob said that might be an Ackerman thing,
Yeah,
hey,
maybe.
she's able to go out there and really kind of, pinpoint
Very skilled.
certain kind of attacks and be very accurate with it. Excuse me.
Landed point blank right in his knee pit.
Yeah. So that one causes
Eat
Reina
it.
to go ahead and just crash land and tumble. It looks like even that scene, he tries to like hold himself up by the the homes that are
Yeah,
nearby,
like the
but
buildings.
he just goes and destroys those.
Yeah, like dude,
know?
you're not gonna. That's not gonna help you up.
No, and so he ends up falling, kind of
We've
face first.
seen how their lack of industrialization, that stuff is being held up. Those buildings are being held up by sticks and spit. I don't think that's gonna hold you up, man.
But again, like you were saying, that Reina doesn't recall certain events. He's like trying to understand. He's like, what happened to me, right? He sees Bertold. He's like, what?
Like, what are we doing?
What's going on? And then he's trying to remember the last thing he sees. He said he's feeling really weak. He does know that Eren's over there. He's like, what's going on? And then he's like, he goes and he talks about.
He remembers like the orders that Bertold told him.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me lie face up then, I guess. Okay. I'll try. Now
Exactly.
what? How did I get taken out?
Yeah. And then we reference it as Pretty Squidward because there's that scene where Reina inside his Titan form, we understand that he had a very scary look to him because essentially he was just skeletal and brain, but now his body's trying to revive him. So now we see actual muscle tissue.
Yeah.
And like,
It's just super chiseled.
yeah, he's
Oh, so
very
he's
chiseled.
like handsome Squidward.
Yeah, handsome Squidward. Yes, exactly. That was the reference there that
Yeah.
that we're trying to go ahead and put
That's what I was thinking. Because when I said it, I was like, he's looking. I used pretty as like
as a
kind of like a. I can't remember what the word is. It's not a describing word though, but I used it more just like he's looking pretty.
Pretty
Squidward.
Squidward.
And it's like, oh, not pretty Squidward. He's looking pretty handsome Squidward.
Yeah, so he's a handsome Squidward right now, but he doesn't remember anything. And excuse me. So Bertold now is he's even trying to see what's happening here because he goes and he notices that the scouts are no longer all together. He's kind of noticing that a group's going over to Reina. He's like, okay, and Bertold. So he's at a point here where we understand what Bertold. In this moment here, he was hoping that they all would just die during his transformation, right?
Yeah.
We talked about the character development that Bertold was going through. How before he was very quiet, mild-mannered.
More of a timid, yeah.
And when they revealed themselves to be the traitors, he was easily manipulated with his emotions, right? Now he's stepping up. He's realizing he has to do certain things, right? He realizes he has to kill everybody,
Yeah.
right? Which is why he even mentioned about the stipulations to agreeing to, whatever the case is. And he says, well, we just want Eren. All of you have to die.
Yeah.
Those
Sorry,
are my
it's
only...
just the way things are.
Yeah.
I do like the line that Bertold uses though here, saying that like, oh well, fortunately for you, Armin, I've had to fight for everything that I've had to fight for everything. Had to fight for anything that I wanted. I've always had to fight for my way. So this is not new to me.
Yeah. And again, him and the other Titan Warrior trainees went through hell. We can only assume. But to kind of counter argue that, he caused hell, him specifically, for Armin and the others at such a young age, to where, you know, they became soldiers, you know? And one can argue that Armin had to go ahead and fight and have to, you know, like, just fight for everything, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess I could kind of see where Bertolt's coming from, because, again, you know, with Bertolt is like, you know, he's not thinking about what Armin had to go through and stuff like that, because for all we know, all that training maybe was just nothing compared to everything that Bertolt experienced.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he probably wasn't even really, like, focusing on that, because he's just thinking, okay, this is the plan, stay incognito, and only thinking of, you know, Marley. Like, this is who I am.
Yeah. But now it's clear that Bertolt doesn't even know what the plan is, at least what Armin is planning. As at this moment, none of us do. But yeah, so continuing on with what Armin is telling Eren, right? So again, we can only assume that Armin has explained everything to Eren, as Armin continues saying, like, how long can I hold out, right? If I give up too soon, the plan would fail. And then this whole next reaction here is really interesting to me, and what Armin's response is interesting to me, because Eren inside of his Titan, watching Armin, hearing Armin saying these words, right? He goes like, wait, hold on. Armin, are you? And maybe that's when it clicks, right? Maybe Armin didn't explain the plan in great detail.
Maybe he just was just like, we're going to make him use his steam, and when he's all weak, you go in, da, da, da. He probably didn't say how he was going to specifically make him use up his steam.
And then the thing too is, we talked about the connections to these characters. I mean, like, Irvin's in the character too, where he kind of tells you only what you need to know, right? And then with Armin here, I think he's just telling Eren what Eren needs to know.
Yeah.
You know?
He's just like, yeah, I know you're not going to like the rest of this plan, but I'm just going to tell you what you got to
like,
do.
Who knows? For all we know, maybe he told him, like, look, I'm going to go ahead and distract Bertolt. You need to go down there and you need to do this. You know, he's just kind of telling him. But then now I think Eren is starting to see the writing on the wall. He's starting to go ahead and piece things together. You know, he's like, wait, are you going to do what I think you're going to do? And then maybe, when I talk about the response, Armin's response, maybe Armin is able to go ahead and notice Eren's kind of curiosity, Eren's kind of now maybe reluctancy, by saying sorry, but I can't die until I get a chance to look at the sea.
Yeah.
So I'll just let go before things get bad, okay?
Yeah.
He's like, look.
Which I don't know if that's the truth.
Yeah.
If he's telling him the truth, but he is, you know, for him to go through for this plan, he's going to tell him, I'm going to let go until things get really bad.
Yeah, and then he even tells him, like, look, it's all going to come down to you, Eren. Which we've seen before in the past, where they talk about, like, you know, if the plan fails, it's all on you, Eren. It's
all on you.
Know?
Yeah, humanity is in your hands.
So now here it's kind of the same thing. Like, look, the rest will be up to you. And then Armin tells Eren, like, look, that's no big surprise. I've never really been the hero. And that's when Eren, inside his Titan form, watching Armin, he says, like, no, like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I just wish that you can see what I see.
Yeah.
You know? And that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You know? But again, continuing to reassure, Armin tells Eren, like, look, it's okay. Don't worry. It'll all be okay. In all the years that we've known each other, have I ever lied to you? Which, maybe this isn't necessarily a lie. Maybe he isn't lying to him, but he also isn't telling him the complete truth.
Yeah.
You know? But he says, like, look, like, when have I ever lied to you? And I promised that we'd go to the sea together. And then that Armin smile that we get, you know? And that's the smile that you get where you're like, oh shit, something's about to happen.
Yeah, something's going to go down.
Whenever you get
Armin
those,
looks very pretty in this scene.
and he looks very at peace.
Yeah.
And whenever you see...
And normally when he's giving a plan, he looks very determined, maybe a little bit of, you know, you could see the adrenaline in his face.
Yeah.
But this one, he looks, yeah, like you said, at peace, which is concerning because it's like, hey, I'll see how long I can last. What do you mean?
Yeah, and whenever you see characters like that, whenever, you know, whenever it looks like these characters aren't gonna be able to go ahead and survive these moments here. You're thinking, oh gosh, that character's gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen it before, whether it be with like even other shows, you know, such as I think of like, you know, The Walking Dead or whatever and stuff. You're like, ah, shit, someone's gonna die.
The moment you see
know?
someone at peace, smiling, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know that they're dying.
Yeah.
And they're trying to save face for their peers.
Yeah. And exactly, just trying to maintain morale.
Again,
and all that.
the episode title, Hero.
Yeah.
That's something very heroic of Armin.
And again, to connect both Armin and, you know, Irvin very much tried to go ahead and do the same thing in a whole different kind of emotion, where he went away from his soldiers to talk with Levi, and Levi was surprised to see this whole other demeanor of Irvin. But then when Irvin went back to his soldiers, he was very stern, very stoic, very serious, and confident. And because he knew he had to lead these rookies,
Yeah.
you know, because they want to go ahead and kind of maintain morale. And you have Armin here who's trying to maintain morale by trying to keep Eren ready, prepared,
Keep him
focused,
focused, yeah.
and telling him kind of what he just needs to know. But Eren sees, he's like, wait,
Like,
what's going on here?
what are you doing? What are you planning?
Yeah.
You know?
And then
And then Armin
Eren-
trying to reassure him, just being like, hey, I'm going to go before you start asking too many questions.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to head out.
Exactly. So he gives that smile, just stick to the plan. Armin leaves, and Eren falls.
Yeah, and then Eren slips and falls.
Eren slips and falls, crash lands over onto the ground right there by the wall. And Bertolt just watches this dude fall.
He goes, all right.
And he's like,
We won.
he's concussed.
Yeah.
He's like, he's
He must have
concussed.
gotten a really bad concussion.
He's like, I've
Like,
already.
well, you know what? They would have hit him before that.
I know. And Bertolt is feeling very confident in himself. He says, like the battle's already won. Like, he can't even stand up. He goes, all right, let's just end this. And then we'll see how it all plays out next week. But Lexi, I know you watched another one of those analyzing
little
episodes.
reviews.
Is there
I
anything?
watched a reaction
Okay.
with, like I said earlier, Studio Gek. Anime haters. I wouldn't call them haters anymore. They're on like their 4th anime now, their 5th anime. But yeah, you could see them like reacting again, just to bring back the perspective of a first-time watcher. We aren't in the know of what's going on. All you can think is like, there's no way. Is he gonna die? Is he gonna? We just, and then going back to this was brought up in one of the reviews that I watched, which I totally agree. Going back and watching this, I totally forgot how soon this Armin scene happens in comparison to Irvin's death. You know, I guess not death, technically not dead, but it's just so much happening in these 2 episodes, and it's super heavy. As a first-time watcher, seeing that for the first time, super, super heavy. And you have so many theories, possible outcomes, like memories going through your head as you're watching. And it's just very good, Isayama. Very, very good, man. You're the goat at what you do. Very good. Yeah. But yeah, it's a super heavy couple of episodes, and I'll talk more in the review when we go to our next part next week, because it's a very visceral reaction of what we get from first time watchers in the our next part, continuing on in the episode.
It's a great point, though, Lex. We're covering these episodes as we split them into different parts, which means we're covering them on a weekly basis, right?
And we have time to reflect on it. These people watching them live, maybe first time, watching the full thing, they don't have time to reflect. It's all happening right in front of them.
And
very
it does.
quick.
It happens very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's
And all
why-
you could do is think, is he going to die? Why is he going to... What? Don't. Please don't.
Do you think that in this short
Like panic.
time span, we've lost so much? We're losing so many important characters. We're
Because,
losing...
yeah, even at this moment, you don't know that Hanji's alive.
Yeah.
You have no idea that she's alive.
Don't even know if Levi's going to survive because Levi is now surrounded by the rest of the Titans.
Yeah,
Commander Irvin appears to be dead. And now you have Armin, who's talking about not being able to go see the sea. You're like, what the?
Because right now you just have this tunnel vision of what is Armin going to do.
Yeah.
While you're also thinking, okay, are they going to be able to take? They only have 3 Thunder Spears. They're going to be able to take down Rhina again. You can't help but think something's going to go wrong. They never catch a break, ever catch a break. Even with this suicide charge.
Yeah.
The Card Titan came up, took Zeke away. Cannot catch a break.
No.
At all. It is constant, like, fight or flight mode, just panic, constant adrenaline, and that's what you feel as a watcher. You can feel what the characters are feeling. You feel panic with them as you see them going through with these plans, and as you see it's a mic drop, as you see them going through all of this, because it's happening live in front of you, and it's all very quick of what's going on. So it's very incredible. Very good job, Isayama. You're such a smart man.
Yeah.
But you're also so cruel in the most beautiful way.
Yeah, exactly. And great analysis, Lex. Yeah, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll continue on next week where we get into some really emotional stuff.
Yeah.
I like that Eddie wholesome smile.
Yeah,
Armin's
the wholesome smile. That's...
Armin's a very wholesome character. And as I mentioned, he's my favorite character. So seeing moments like this, I'm like...
Oh, just wait till we get the next part, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Just wait.
Because even covering these episodes again, after seeing the story play out a few times, I still can't help but get emotional. As you guys can tell. That happens. It's happened a few times in the podcast. But yeah, guys, it's been fun.
Times.
That's what we got for you guys. That wraps up another episode of the Attack Talk podcast. This is season 3 of our episode breakdowns and discussions. As Lexi mentioned, in regards to Q&As and in regards to poll questions, that all that stuff will be on Instagram. So please follow us if you do not over on Attack Talk podcast. We stream live every Sundays, and if times, days change, we will go ahead and update you guys over on Instagram. And check out the profile page, because over in the on the profile is the link tree. Linktree has a lot of good stuff for you guys. So
go ahead and check out our bio.
The bio, exactly. All the good stuff. All right, guys. So, again, just kind of shouting out you guys. You guys are all incredible. We love you guys so much. Yeah, you guys are just so cool. As Lexi said, you guys are... We talk about these characters' motivations. We talked about what motivates them to continue and pushing forward. And we talked about it, guys. You guys are our motivation. You guys make these episodes fun to go ahead and just break down and discuss. And without you guys, again, we would have stopped doing this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we love you guys so much. And Jacob, we have the same sentiment.
Yeah.
I know you said at the start of it that, like, your highlight, but it's the same thing for us, man. It's our highlight of the week to be able to go ahead and talk about Attack on Titan with you guys. And yeah, we just love you guys so much. And whether it's the storms, whether it's whatever it is you guys are going through, I hope that you guys all stay safe. We hope that you guys remain positive with the mindset. Try to bring happiness in people's lives. Try to find the happiness in your life. Pursue your guys' aspirations and dreams. And
thanks, Eddie. No. We love you guys.
We appreciate that. And we definitely feel the love from you guys. And that's a real special thing. And whenever we go ahead and we reflect, and as we did even in this episode, we reflected on past scenes that we have narrated. And again, that's a great question that we got from Bat.
Yeah, thanks for
every time we go ahead and we reflect, I can't help but just feel so just lucky.
Yeah. Because
of this podcast and how it's kind of just developed into this awesome thing of being able to go ahead and talk with you guys. And yeah, we feel the love, we feel the support.
We do.
And which is why we want to go ahead and do good by you guys and do justice to the anime and, you know, retell the stories to the best of our abilities and bring the characters to life to the best of our abilities. And yeah, it's really fun for us to go ahead and do that. We need a meet and greet for AJ, Lex, and Zach. Yeah, that would be really cool to be able to go ahead and
maybe at like an expo or something, an anime expo.
To do a way to go ahead and meet with you guys, because again, you guys are just like family to us here. This is the AOT fam that we're so lucky to have, and I never would have ever imagined that this would be in my life.
Yeah,
especially when I think about how Lexi's the one who really kind of reintroduced anime into my life.
Yep.
Got me to go and start watching. Got me to start watching Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan became such a huge influence in my life, and I could tell it's a huge influence in all of our lives, which is special. And to think that is all because of a brilliant mind of Isayama.
Yeah.
And so many others that have created such incredible stories that take a whole life of its own and create and develop an incredible following. And, you know, it's just crazy, guys. It's like Marco said, what is life? You know, what is life?
What is real?
What is real? Exactly, that's what he said.
Yeah. That's
what is real?
That's what he said.
But what is life?
What is life?
Life is just a journey we're on, guys, where we just try to go ahead and take each day with gratitude and just be thankful for moments in our lives. And I'm just so thankful for you guys. It's yeah, you guys' support is incredible, guys. I can thank you guys. Like I said, we can go a whole other podcast here just thanking you guys. But yeah, we got to go ahead and get to a close now. And yeah. The Attack the Talk Levi squad is so fucking cool. I love you guys so much. Really quick, Eddie says, we do. Actually, that's so true. Imagine you guys having a panel or a booth at an anime event. I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why we would be worthy enough to even have that. But if we did, we would.
It feels weird setting something up just to be like, I don't know.
We wouldn't be worthy enough, guys. But
I would love to meet some of you guys.
I think what would probably be the best bet would be just to inform you guys if we ever do decide to go to any kind of anime con, expo, whatever it is, or any events,
some kind of convention,
and give you guys enough time in advance so that if you guys want to go ahead and head that way, you guys go ahead and link up with us, and that'd be really cool to go ahead and just enjoy the all the different cons and all that stuff together. That'd be really cool.
Oh, hi, Seth. That's very sweet of you.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. And then again, for moments where we don't have a third guest, we can go ahead and have one of you guys go and join us and stuff. I wish that I was more tech savvy so that I can go ahead and get you guys on like camera or
like
something,
a Discord or something.
Yeah, to be able to go ahead and get you guys to go ahead and join us live, so you guys can get your guys' point of view in through words instead of just through chat. Because I'm sure you guys are limited with obviously what you guys want to say, and you guys have to get them in very, very quickly. And again, you guys do an awesome job of getting you guys' perspective and points across. But I think that it would be awesome for us to go ahead and get into some really good conversations, being able to hear you guys' voices and stuff and see you guys. So that'd be really cool, and that would just make the element of being able to talk to our friends even better. Mm-hmm. But again, guys, you guys are awesome. I love you guys so much. As I said, guys, just stay safe out there. Spread that love and positivity. Like Bat says, we hate and we love. It's cliche and simple like that, And I hope to see you guys next week. This is AJ signing off, saying that I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good week. And we'll continue on and get emotional together. So, love you guys. I'll go ahead and I'll let Lexi go ahead and get us into close.
So, I want to leave you guys with since we talked so much about motivation today, I want to leave you guys with a motivational quote. So, sometimes in life, we're tested, but not to show our weaknesses, to discover our strength. All right, guys, have a safe week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.